of you, please mute yourself. Okay. Now, what is motivation? What do you think? What is motivation? Can anyone tell me what is motivation? Motivation. What is motivation? What do you think? Okay, I'm sharing my screen here. So what is motivation? The term motivation has been derived from the word motive. So what is motive? Motive may be defined as an inner state of our mind that activates and directs our behavior. So motive is something which controls our behavior, which activates our behavior. It makes us move to act. It is always internal to us and is externalized via our behavior. So motive is something which we have in our mind, and how you can show your motive. If you externalize your behavior, if you show your behavior, then everyone can show what is your motive. Now, motivation is one's willingness to exert efforts towards the accomplishment of his or her goal. Let us consider a few important definitions on motivation that will help us understand the meaning of motivation. Now, everyone needs a motivation in life. Like if you want to study, suppose MBA after your graduation, so you need some kind of motivation to do that. So maybe your teacher can motivate you, or you can motivate yourself also. So maybe there is one senior in your college who can motivate you. So motivation can come to you from various sources. So Fred Luthans defined motivation as a process that starts. Please don't scribble on the screen. Okay, I can see the name Dibangshu, Krishna, they're scribbling on the screen. So Sakir, so if you are doing so, you please stop doing that. If you are not stopping, then please, like, you can leave the class. Just a second. I'm removing Sakir. Okay, there are 54 participants. May I know you are from which university or which college? Sorry?
Jadavpur University.
Jadavpur University. Okay. And who? There are other students also. All of you are from Jadavpur?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Jadavpur University.
Okay. So we were discussing motivation. Now, this man, Trey Lutzans, defined motivation as a process that starts with the physiological or psychological deficiency or need that activates behavior or a drive that is aimed or at a goal or incentive. Second, please mute yourself. Now, according to P. Robbins, motivation is the willingness to exert high levels of efforts towards organization goals, conditioned by the effort ability to satisfy some individual need. So, what is motivation according to two different persons? So, one is saying that why do you need live transcription? So it is a process that starts with a physiological and psychological deficiency or like which need which activates or behavior or a drive that is aimed at a goal or incentive. So according to in Stephen R. Robbins, motivation is a willingness to exert high levels of efforts toward organizational goals conditioned by the effort ability to satisfy some individual need. In the opinion of Gray and Strake, motivation is a result of process, internal or external to the individual, that arouse enthusiasm and persistence to pursue a certain course of action. So after going through the above definitions, motivation can be defined very simply as a willingness to exert towards the accomplishment of goal or need. So, motivation cycle or process, what is the process of motivation? So, I started earlier, motivation is a process or cycle aimed at accomplishing some goals. So, if you have some goals in your life, suppose you want to achieve something, suppose you want to be a painter, or you want to you want to do some project. So, there is a process. So some motivation you need to accomplish the process, like project, accomplish your wish. The basic elements included in the process are motives, goals, and behavior. So brief mention of these. So let's see what are the process. So almost all human behavior is motivated. Now it requires no motivation to grow hair, but getting a haircut does. Okay. Uh, so motives prompt people to action. Hence, these are at the very heart of motivational process. Motives provide an activating thrust towards a reaching goal. The examples of the names for food and water are translated into the hunger and thirst drives or motives. Similarly, the need for friends becomes a motive for affiliation. So like almost whatever action we do, almost all of them are comes from the motivation. It requires no motivation to grow hair, obviously, but when you are going for a haircut, obviously, like there is a motivation for growing hair. So motives prompt people to action, and hence these are at the very heart of motivational process. Motives provide an activating thrust towards reaching a goal. The examples of the need for food and water are translated into the hunger and thirst drives or motives. Similarly, the need for friends become a motive for affiliation. So motives are generally directed towards goals. Motives generally create a state of physiological or psychological imbalance. Attaining goals restores balance. For example, a goal exists when the body of the main man is deprived of food or water, or one's personality is deprived of friends or companions. So motive is always a balance of physiological and psychological balance. Like it is a combination of mental and physical motives. So now behavior is a series of activities to be undertaken. Now behavior is directed to achieve a goal. For example, the man goes to salon to cut his hair. Now there is a diagram like I told you that when you are like going for a haircut, then you need the motivation for growing hair. So, what is the importance of motivation? So, the need for and the importance of motivation can be imbued with multiplicity of justifications as follows. So, okay, number one, organizations are run by people. Hence, managers cannot afford to avoid a concern with human behavior at work. So this is because the motivated employees are more productive and quality conscious than apathetic ones. So organizations are run by people. So there are managers. They cannot afford to avoid a concern with human behavior at work. So like if any employee is going through any phase, so managers cannot avoid that because they are the people who are running the organization. So this is because the motivated employees are more productive and quality conscious than apathetic ones. So the employees or the like students who are motivated, they are more productive and also quality conscious. Motivation is a pervasive concept affects and is also affected by a host of factors in the organizational milieu. It enables managers to understand why people behave as they behave. So, organizational effectiveness becomes to some extent the question of management's ability to motivate its employees. Hence, an appreciation of motivation helps the managers how to motivate their employees. What is number two? Motivation is a pervasive concept, uh, affects and it is also affected by a host of factors in the organizational milieu. So it is always like influenced by a lot of factors and it enables managers to understand why people behave as they behave. So if like every individual person has individual behavior. So because of the motivation, they behave differently. So the managers can understand why the like people are behaving differently. So organizational effectiveness becomes to some extent the question of management's ability to motivate its employees. So obviously, like how the management is able to motivate their employees, it is it depends on the organizational effectiveness. Hence, an appreciation of motivation helps the managers how to motivate their employees. And number four is machines become necessary in case of complex technology. However, this remain inefficient vehicles of effective and efficient operations without man to operate them. Therefore, organizations need to employ with required capability and willingness to use the advanced complex technology to achieve the organizational goal. So machines become is very necessary in case of complex technology. So however, these remain inefficient vehicles of effective and efficient operations without man to operate them. Therefore, organizations need to have employees with required capability and willingness to use the advanced and complex technology. So with the realization that organizations will run in more complex milieu in future, an increasing attention has been given to develop employees as future resources. So, like already, the organizations have realized that there will be more complex, like technical things. It will come in the future. So they need to motivate their employees in that way. This facilitates the managers to draw upon them as and when organizations grow and develop. Now, how can you motivate yourself to study? So, as all of you are students, so you need also some motivation to motivate yourself. Now, how can you do that? So, number one is you can acknowledge your resistance and difficult feelings with motivation. So, you can like identify your resistance, your limitation, and also difficult feeling with motivation. It may be helpful. Write the feelings or thoughts down and then leave these on the side so you can study. So you can write down your feelings or whatever thoughts is coming to your mind, like what are the resistance you are feeling. Then you can study. Number two is please do not run away. So avoiding work can make you feel deflated. Yes, so when we are avoiding our work, we have a different feeling. You will not feel satisfied. So when you will complete your work, you will feel satisfied. So this is emotionally more draining than having to go through the frustration of reading for your paper. Number three is do not blame yourself for procrastinating now and then. Try to become aware of the habit and gently make yourself go back to the task sooner rather than later. So please complete your task sooner and like rather than later because it is very good habit to complete the work at the required time. You can try to understand your study style better and what will make it easier for you to work. We are all prone to pleasant experience and it is natural that we tend to avoid uncomfortable dry course and duties. So try to make your study experience as interesting as possible. Don't question your abilities because you can do it. Don't put yourself down by comparing yourself to others. Visualize yourself starting. You can visualize yourself starting the work. Make yourself sit down and work even if this is for just 20 minutes. See starting as a parallel process like a plane on runway. You may start slow, but you will still take off. Yeah, sure. That if you visualize something that you are doing that, so you can obviously do that. So this is one kind of motivation. Maybe you will not do better, but at first, but after some day, you will definitely like can do it. So you can focus on the task. Sorry. Which is at your hand. You can prioritize the important task and avoid multitasking. So you can communicate to others any difficulties and or what you intend to do. This can help you engage with the process and identify the important tasks. Communication, externalization can help you to commit with immediate goals and you could also find out what are others' points of view and tips. You can take a time limited approach in which you schedule your tasks. Ask yourself how much can I achieve in the next 2 hours instead of can I complete all tasks. In this way, you do not get as easily overwhelmed by the volume of study made to do. So you can like slowly reach towards your goal. First, you can first study 2 hours, then you can increase your time of study. So in this way, you can achieve your goal. Please remember that studying can be challenging and take you out of your comfort zone. So thinking about the hiking of Mountain Kilimanjaro, it is not easy and even be uncomfortable. But when the like pleasure comes, when you begin to see the view from height, so it's really satisfactory. And you can focus on the outcome and not to struggle to get there. Okay, so that's all. Like we have discussed how we can motivate ourselves. Okay, no, Vikram, you cannot get the PDF. You can get a recording of the class on the app. Do you have any queries, students? Okay, so if you don't have query, we will conclude the class here. We'll again continue in the next day.
Is the class over?